I realize I've now grown a true scaling organization that I'm out of.
Hello, Ian, and thank you for taking a quick minute to talk a little bit about my management course and my management consulting.
Hey, Mass, that's quite okay.
Ian, you and your team have been through my management training. What's been sort of the key takeaway you've had from that?
I was running a HubSpot agency called HubSnacks, which is more of a product-sized service. Key takeaway for me, it revolves around my ability to start getting out of the business. And to do that, I needed to basically not just manage people, but start building a team of people who are managing their teams. Key takeaway, if I had to say the number one takeaway, is really it's the one-on-one calls. So they're the most unlikely contender. When I started doing the course, I thought, oh, when I've got to actually implement this, the one-on-ones, that seems like pretty small fry stuff. But you say it's important, but I was going, no, it's going to be team calls. It's going to be all these other things, hiring, firing, or letting go, as you call it. But actually, when I put it into practice, it's the one-on-one calls.
And what did you feel was sort of the most valuable thing you get out of the course? Like, what was the overall biggest value?
So I think the big value really comes from when you then have a team of people who are then going through your program. So I did your program first, remember? I did it myself. Then I go, right, my team needs this. So I've also done workshops with you as well at various events. But I said, you know what? This is, for me to build a business, I need to get up and out of it. And I need the team to be able to do what I've done. So to do that, I then put my team through the program. And the biggest value is having like a common vocabulary that we all use around management and a common understanding of what management means and how to operate the management. So you can come up with lots of woo-woo stuff, which you don't do. It's all very, very practical. But my team now is managing their teams in a way that I understand, and we all have a common vocabulary. Everyone puts their own style on it and their own personality on it, but the structure is consistent. That provides a discipline that is we can then start to scale the business on. And I've got to say, you use the word feeling at the beginning of that. I think as a business leader, so what the biggest gain really for me personally is when you are occasionally, I speak to everyone in the company. I have something called the Kaizen calls once a quarter, which is not a one-on-one call. It's not in your structure, so to speak. It's when I just want to touch base with everyone in the company. And they're called the Kaizen calls because Kaizen being the Japanese word for continual search for improvement. So I do a check-in call with everyone where it's very focused just on improvement and what they can remove in their day to make things better. And it's not to check in on their managers. But when you then listen to the people who are under the people who are for me, and you listen them to describe how much the one-on-one calls has helped them with their managers, I realize I've now grown a true scaling organization that I'm out of, because it's growing a life of its own that is in the same mold and DNA that I set it up in. And it's exhilarating and heartwarming and a proud moment when you know that the people who used to come to me for their guidance, my direct reports, are now got teams under them going through the same journey and transformation. And that's when you know you're really building something and you haven't just given yourself a job inside your agency.
Yeah.
That's the real big game, real leverage.